Over 50,000 people have died of COVID-19 in the US, and the momentum is not letting down. This comes as President Trump and his allies are elevating their anti-China rhetoric to a new level. Their newest tactic, legitimize a conspiracy theory and blame a Chinese lab for creating the deadly virus. But exactly how are they trying to spin the narrative? I'll walk you through it. I'm Serena, and welcome to Foxtel. Step 1. Gather unreliable sources. In late January, right-wing Washington Times labeled Wuhan Institute of Virology as the villain behind the pandemic. It speculated that the virus was manufactured at the biolab and somehow leaked out. The article sourced an Israeli military intelligence officer and Radio Free Asia, which is known to be a worldwide propaganda network built by the CIA. The theory was quickly rejected by scientists. This is what they say on the magazine Nature. Our analyses clearly show that SARS-CoV-2 is not a laboratory construct or a purposefully manipulated virus. You would think scientific research would be enough to silence conspiracy theorists in Washington. However, with the death toll continuously increasing in the US, Trump and his allies are left scrambling for more theories to float. Step 2. Neglect evidence. On April 14th, Washington Post had this column. State Department cables warn of safety issues at Wuhan lab studying coronaviruses. Its author Josh Rogan cited a 2018 cable from the U.S. Embassy in Beijing that he said he had just obtained innocently. The cable warned that the Wuhan lab's work on bat coronaviruses and its potential human transmission represented a risk of a new SARS-like pandemic. When pressed by scientists to publish the rest of the cable, Rogan refused. The next day, Bret Baier of Fox News published a similar article stating there is increasing confidence that the COVID-19 outbreak likely originated in a Wuhan laboratory. But again, he offered no concrete evidence and relied on unspecified documents from U.S. sources, which he did not personally view. Step 3. Bring it to the masses. As the theatrics continued, Republican Senator Tom Cotton praised Baier on Fox and blamed China.
Every single death, every job lost, every retirement nest egg lost.
3 days later, U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo followed suit and brought the baseless theory to a wider audience. And this is what he had to say.
We're still suffering that today. We are still asking the Chinese Communist Party to allow experts to get into that virology lab so that we can determine precisely where this virus began.
That same day, President Trump stepped in and said,
"It seems to make sense."
Well, all of these remind me of an old saying, don't let the facts get in the way of a good story. It seems to be the mantra for the Trump administration these days. The clock is ticking for Trump, with only 6 months left to lock in a re-election and stave off an economic depression. It seems clinging to fringe conspiracy theories against China is his safest strategy. It does ring a bell, though. Remember when the U.S. was looking for excuses for the invasion of Iraq? It started with a now notorious New York Times report that Iraq had weapons of mass destruction. So this might just be history repeating itself, only this time the target is China.